Good morning and welcome to the Naenae Bowling Club here in Wellington, where we're bringing you for the next 3 days the National Interclub Bowls3Five Finals, where 32 teams from around the country will be lining up. Of course, a number of these have won their regional playoffs to be here to play section play today and tomorrow, and then on Sunday we'll be through to the quarterfinals, semi-final and final. And this is a new innovation of the change away from what was the televised event to this round robin event. And for those who want to watch us right throughout the day, tell your friends, neighbours, fellow countrymen, whatever, and it's all on the Bowls New Zealand platform. Now, I'll be with you for a few rounds today, and also helping in the commentary we will have Brent van Nistelrooy and John Macbeth will also be covering some of the games. And with me this morning I have got Stephen Beale from Bowls New Zealand. And of course, Stephen, welcome, great to have you here again.
It's all good. Good. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be great, mate.
Well, it's going to be great, obviously, for you as well, because you've been one of the people right behind this new surface here at Naenae, and this is really its first real big go. Would that be right? New surface.
That's the one. We're really on trial today and or over the weekend, but so far it's the guys that have been practicing and the girls are going saying this is going really good. So they're really wrapped.
And I believe, talking to you earlier on, Mark Perrin, who's the man behind this, of course, was here, was it last night, vacuuming, making sure that this is... People don't understand there's still going to be a lot of maintenance go into these surfaces, doesn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And, get it well looked after and you're going to get years and years out of this. And, yeah, no, it's brilliant.
So, Stephen, as this first game is just getting underway now, that's the Auckland, from the Auckland club, the Auckland Originals up against
Dobson.
What speed would you envisage this running at approximately?
It's running at 16 at the the moment, so
good speed. Isn't it?
It's the perfect speed, I think.
Yeah,
you can play all the shots on that, and I'm wrapped. And as it goes on, it might get up to 16 and a half seconds.
But we're going to have a pretty consistent speed right across all of the rinks.
Yep.
So for those who are watching this, this is the televised rink which Bowls New Zealand have set up, and the other games of round robin play are going out beyond these. And at the end of each round, of course, we'll bring you the updates from the previous round. So, Stephen, Bowls3Five, quick format, 5 ends, correct? 5 ends,
yep.
A set format, 5 ends.
Yep.
Power plays, and of course, if we're all tied up one set apiece, we go to a tie break.
One end shootout.
One end shootout. So there's not much room for error. So this first game we're going to bring you this morning is that of the Auckland Originals. Their side, they've got leading for them. In their side, they have got, of course, the Vili Fifita with Bevan Beckham at number 2. And Maroi Pereeti is skipping the side, and they're up against the Dobson side from West Coast with Merv Pascoe leading, such a name which is so synonymous with bowls on the West Coast. Madeline McGee at 2, John Aynsley is skipping the side. Interesting in the Dobson side, and this to me, Steve, makes this competition so really, really great. There they are, a club of 12 players on the West Coast. They had a membership increase over the last couple of years from 7 players now to 12.
It's magnificent when you look at the percentage-wise, isn't it?
And the club they were telling me was actually formed in 1939, and it was part of the when mining was to the fore, of course, on the coast, and the Dobson club, and originally. When the club was first set up, it was actually literally a mines playing club. That's what it was. And I suppose it's ironical now, here they are playing up against the Auckland Bowling Club, the oldest bowling club in the Southern Hemisphere, formed in 1861, and of course has got the very unique that it is a protected club, a protected location, I should say, under Historic Places Act.
Yep.
Located just up from the Stanley Street tennis court, sits in a really pristine part of Auckland, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And the park environment there, isn't it?
Be worth $1 or $2, I'd say, if they were to sell it.
Well, I can tell you, Stephen, that a few years ago when Ansett Airlines were just at their offices literally right next door, they applied to put Ansett signage up on the hill there at the Auckland Bowling Club. and they got into all sorts of, no, there was legalities, and no, it wasn't, and this is historic places, and no one touches anything. It's just, that's the way it is. So the first end is underway, and this the first round of this section play, and we'll see the end
the
of this.
Originals are holding shot at the moment.
The
and
lead is holding the shot, isn't he?
Yeah, that was the first bowl.
It was the first bowl, and now you see Bevan Beckham saying to his skip, Maroi, Pereeti, follow down to get it, sit inside, try and draw another counter. Just question that line, going to not get outside the bowls. No, it won't. Just sits on.
Probably the speed wasn't too bad there. It's just a bit tight.
So we've got Madeline McGee indicating to John Aynsley, who just in the last couple of weekends has won a couple of the champions centre titles on the coast. And he's got this bowl out on a wider arc. Is it going to come back? No, it won't. No.
Back.
So that's the first end. And, of course, with this competition as well, Stephen, the jack is actually placed, not delivered. Is that correct?
Correct. The mat's in a fixed spot. So it's the shortest end is exactly 23. And then it's, what would it be, 23, 28, 30.
So it was a 1 to the Auckland Originals. And through the 2 days of section play, by the time we finish tomorrow night, of course, we'll have the quarterfinalists, and then on Sunday here, we'll be playing quarterfinals, semi-final, and final. But to me, Stephen, the great thing about this event, I was just looking through last evening, it's fantastic to see such a wide representation of clubs who, this is a great platform for them, isn't it?
Absolutely. Like I was just talking to someone before, and coming in, and they're all of a sudden they're seeing these blackjacks here, and they go, they're a bit worried about it, but one shot at a time, and they're really looking forward to being on the big stage. They're all going to get a TV game.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
How good is that?
Well, I've been noticing the last couple of days on Facebook the number of clubs who have been, come watch our team. They're playing here, watch here, which is fantastic to see. And we're looking forward to a couple of fantastic days or 3 fantastic days of bowls here. I see the skip, Maroi, Pereeti, very colourful with the headgear on, the Pacific flavour.
Absolutely.
Now here, Merv Pascoe, and of course the uncle, I believe, of Lance Pascoe. Everyone's an uncle. If you've got the name
they're
Pascoe.
All related, aren't they?
They're all related, aren't they? There's no, So, there is a lot of them down there.
Yep.
So Bevan Beckham now the number 2 for the Auckland Originals, scoring 1 on that first end of the first set. 5 ends, of course, is what we're playing per set.
Oh, just the big drag.
Drag on the jack. On goes the chalk, the spray on chalk. So
Auckland holding 1 and
one
toe rope to the rest.
Yeah, it is. It's a clothesline to find the others, isn't it? Here's Madeline McGee from the Dobson side.
Just got to get under that.
Not going to get under that front bowl. So Bevan Beckham, who we saw with his first bolt, get a trail on the jack, move it right off the centre line. And here's Beckham again.
Coming down the other side this time.
Change of hand. Looks to be on a good line as it breaks towards the head. Now going to go by about half a metre or metre. That's a good bowl though, in behind the head. The thing about this very shortened format, Steve, is getting bowls on the head early is just critical, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it's and if you're missing, you've got to be missing in good places. And with those short,
good response here.
Short ones,
going to get
not
past. No, it's not. Runs into the front bowl of Bevan Beckham. Did the Madeline McGee bowl, but one bowl on top of the jack just gives you that.
Oh, yeah, you can start protecting that and getting bowls in good spots. But
and of course, we didn't mention it. Of course, that also in this format there's the power play option where you can call. Either side has got one power play, and they can call the power play.
Yep.
And of course, double points or double shots, correct?
Double shots, yeah.
So
you get 1 per game. as opposed to one per set.
So one per game, my apologies. So do you call it the first set or second set? Because there's always been this debate, isn't there?
Mate, yeah, it's when to pull the trigger on it. Agreed. Most leave it to later in the set to pull it, and it just depends where the games are. But, like the stuff that I've sort of seen, most are pulling the power play in the second set.
That's the common trait, isn't it? They do that, as we see Aynsley on the back end. He's going to look as though is he going to get the weight to get past? No, he's not. No. He's under it again. And of course, with Dobson caught in a predicament here, of course, the way how the bowls are sitting, there's not really a attacking shop option on, is there?
Nowhere to go. It's a dead draw and nothing.
It's a dead draw. So Maroi Pereeti playing her second on this end 2 of
she looks
5
short of weight.
Short of weight. And all, as we rightly said, that really for John Aynsley is that backhand draw, just to endeavour to try and get past the front bowl to get to the try and get to the jack on the backhand. As Aynsley looks to be out on the wider side, out of the hand. How far is it going to come back? No, it won't. But I suppose
he's
not bad. He's pretty close. He's going to draw it. Does he? Yes, he does. Well,
great bowl. Great bowl.
Well, to me, straight away, Stephen, that highlights the surface that we've got here, because that bowl drew back from outside on that backhand line.
Yep.
It really, that last metre and a half really had a real finish on it, didn't it?
It did, and it's I'm really rapt to see this as the salesman for these sort of greens at the moment, and that was a good shot, great shot.
Well, only literally had really 6 to 9 inches to be able to draw either jack level or just in behind it. So here now we've got Merv Pascoe endeavouring to capitalise on that good start from what the skip gave them. Be short.
Yeah, well, Merv's, geez, fired these, I think all 6, just a bit high. He hasn't quite nailed the line yet.
So this would be, look, no disrespect at all to the people from Dobson, and they had practiced here yesterday, but this is a big change from what they're used to down on the coast, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think they don't have an artificial surface on the coast, though. They have a magnificent Toto green, probably running at 100 seconds.
More than that. Around the world, send it out and around the world, isn't it? That's it. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, playing on the surface, and the game is different on artificial.
Oh, no question.
You know, it's the shot selection, what
so
you play.
Pascoe trying to get under his bowl. He finishes under it, he'll finish jack level, and he does.
Yeah.
Just a half a metre away. But in saying that, with all the other teams here as well, though, Stephen, for a number of the teams, there's a pretty... sure, there's Astro, et cetera, but there's a brand new... environment for all the teams, really, isn't it?
It is. Like it's indoor, the lighting's a bit different.
Yes, it is.
Like the lid that they've got here is sort of like a see-through plasticky sort of thing. So
yes.
The whole light, it'll be interesting later on tonight, because I noticed last night when the practicing and that, the light was different. When you look up the other end, your depth perception starts mucking around with you. And
so, we've got Madeline McGee trying to get down to... The shot bowl would be that.
Well, she got the tee covered for a kill. So.
She has, which is important, of course. Vili Fifita with the shot as we watch the multicoloured bowl of Bevan Beckham's. It's going to go out on that wide side. And there is a good draw down there, isn't there, really, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Just inside the Merv Pascoe bowl. There's a good draw in there. And Madeline McGee.
She looks a bit high. Is it high?
Oh, we'll see how far it comes. It's moving back now. It's going to move all the way back. This isn't far away as it comes towards the head to sit inside the bowl.
Oh.
And just slides underneath the bowl, but was certainly on target.
Gave it
a good chance as it moved its way back towards the jack, that centre line. There's Beckham with his second. And, of course, we're already playing the third end of the first set, so they go pretty quickly.
Yep, you can't muck around with us. You got
to
find your line, find your way quick.
Is there a time limit?
No.
So,
but no shot clock on this one.
But you just bet it's quick regardless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, to complete the match. So we'll be right throughout the section play. We'll have a feature match, which we'll be covering on this TV rink here. So round by round, there will be a game here right throughout the 2 days of section play. And if you just go to the Bowls New Zealand website and talk to your friends, etc., just go to the Bowls New Zealand website, and on there that'll lead you to one of the new platforms of where you can watch this live coverage of the Bowls3Five National Interclub Finals here at Naenae, as we see John Aynsley playing his first on this, the third end, and he drew a ripper with that last end. Looks as though he's just going to skip away, is going to hold up enough. Certainly had good weight, great weight to sit on.
You might have a go at that. If nothing close here from Auckland, that bowl must be worth a 3.
So here is Maroi Pereeti. Is it going to get all the way down? Finishes just lower the jack, having a look at who's got shot there.
Yeah.
And the shot, the shot is to draw it. I heard it say a couple of seconds.
He's playing with some weight. He's got at least 2 seconds.
So he's Aynsley. He's playing down with weight to try and get to the shot bowl in behind. They're looking closely at it. Goes by, got his own, got it. It would have got
carnage.
Yeah, just the one note would be that being the front bowl of the
tape.
The indication from Bevan Beckham, then he was confident of shot. So here is Maroi Pereeti on the back end with his second bowl. Am I guessing there, Steve, does that look to be like a conventional old style black bowl that she's playing with? And a good bowl played here. Well played by the Auckland original skip.
1 up to 1 up, I think. Yeah, they all Taylor aces.
It certainly looks to be the more...
They'll be as old as you.
No, not that old. No.
You've got the big deep dimples you used to lose your fingers in.
Well, funnily enough, next Friday I'm playing in a charity bowls day at the Epsom Bowling Club, and a charity afternoon. And I'm going to have to send a search party to try and... I may have to use Marlene's old size 3 classic twos. they might get a run.
Mate, they were the primo bowl back then too, weren't they?
That was a few jam seasons ago. So 2-1 to the Auckland Originals over Dobson. 2-1 after 3 of the 5 ends in this first set quickfire format here at the Naenae Bowling Club. Here's move Pasco, and you see that Jack's right up onto the third circle.
Gone from short to long.
Good response there from...
That's more like movie.
It's sitting Jack level. And interesting, that change of length really from the Auckland Originals, and for the Army Fifita.
First 3 ends are all short.
Yes, they certainly were. Trying to encourage this bowl back towards the centre line. How's the weight going to be? He's going to sit up on the back end, just sits back on the end of the carpet there. So Merv Pascoe now on his back end after playing, struggling, as you rightly said, those first couple of ends. But
he's nailed the line in that first one and the weight. So.
And again, this looks to be a fairly good line too, Stephen, as this breaks in towards the circle there. This looks a very, very good bowl here from Pascoe. And obviously that's the length for the side, for the Dobson side, isn't it?
Lance, and that's my uncle.
That's my uncle. I saw Lance early on, and of course he's playing. Well, I'm not sure what team he's playing in. They come in from everywhere, playing for all sorts of centres and clubs. So we'll just wait till they turn up here. We'll know who they.
Have a look in the book.
Just reaching that bowl there, mate. Just under here.
Well, he's not with the Elmwood side.
No, not with there. Stokes Valley, is he? No, not there either. Well, he might just be in civvies watching.
Well, he could. No, he's all dressed up. Goodness gracious. Where's spell check when you need it?
What's the umpire? Look at what the umpire's saying. Too.
So 2 shots to the Auckland, to the Dobson side. That first bowl of Fifita sitting right at the back. Beckham now, important. He's trying to get to the jack. Trying to get the jack in the ditch. Going to get a slide. And gets the shot out of it. No, he doesn't. Just slides by. But
Pesco bowl still holding in there, I think.
so you can attack early, because if you don't attack early enough in this, you're going to find yourself in all last bowl trouble, aren't you, really? So Madeline McGee now endeavouring to get another bowl on the head, with, of course, Auckland now, although down on the head, do hold the advantage whereby they have got a back bowl. The McGee bowl is going to be slide away under the head. You'll see the black and white bowl there of Bevan Beckham sitting right in behind the jack on that, just on that outer ring, and the Dobson side sitting jack level, which is shot, and really after that there's a bit of
a good gap.
Bit of a gap, bit of a clothesline.
Mind you, there was a run shot there, so moves. Other bowl was close. It ended up in the ditch. So
if you
there we go.
The Auckland side, any jack movement is certainly in their favour, and here is Maroi Pereeti on her backhand, endeavouring to reach up to this shot bowl out of the hand. It looked to be narrowish under the line. It's only going to just slip away under the line. Had good weight to get jack trail on there, and so it's imperative here for John Aynsley. Sure, they're holding one, but they do ideally want to get something that at least is over the head, don't they? Because any jack movement will certainly, as we're playing in 4, would put them in a spot of bother, wouldn't it?
It would, and I think that bowl's a bit vulnerable too, because it's, I think most of the Dobson bowls are.
So Aynsley breaking towards the head's going to be short. Yeah, and there's the call from Bevan Beckham to his skip, Maroi Pereeti, to play with weight and go for what is the shot bowl.
Certainly playing with weight.
Playing with weight. It's on a wider line to get down to that shot bowl or the jack. Yes. It's on a pretty good line. This bowl, it's on a good line. Just how did it miss?
Playing with a size 5 would have got that.
Oh, sure. that looked on a jack or bowl contact all the way.
It did.
Let's see what the marker indicates, whether that in fact might be. Is that 2 now to Dobson? That was a bowl way out on the far side. We'll see in a moment as John Ainsley's got every chance.
We should be ended bonus.
Well, he should be.
Plenty of room for a bonus here.
Not sure if he's got the weight, was his call.
He left a bit in his hand on that one.
He did. It stuck in the claw. And it is just the one.
That bowl must have been worth a... Yep, it was.
Yeah.
That bowl out, and it was a handful by the look of it.
It was. So, going into the last end of this, the first set, 2 apiece, all singles. And that was the end which could have been the real turning point in that set.
Yep.
Now it's anybody's. So I'm picking the CS, move Pesco. He's got
he's gone long again.
Gone long again, which we certainly saw on that last, that previous end. It certainly worked for Pesco. But talk your hair down there might have hurt between the 2 skips. And here's Pesco on his forehand. No, I don't think there's any straighteners.
The way you deliver them.
I was just going to say that it's got quite a bearing on it. So that was the bowl to capitalise early on in this last end, and now's the chance now, of course, for Vili Fifita on his backhand to get right onto the jack and put the pressure straight on this the first end. Man, is it coming back towards the centre line?
He's high wide.
It's going to go by. Is it going to stay up on the carpet or drop in? It's going to, well, that could finish up a very, very good bowl, sitting literally right on the lip, just outside the number.
This was meaning finishing in good places. Like he's long, but it's in a good place.
So change the hand here from Pesco. Doesn't want to get tangled up on his front, trying to get down there on the backhand to draw the shot. It's imperative here that he draws something close. This is a better looking bowl. This getting applause from John Aynsley as it breaks in behind the head, and not quite. It would have been ideal from right behind the jack on that straight line to jack. But very,
that blue
very
bowl
good.
at the back now is looking really good.
It certainly is. So Fifita now. Every opportunity here for Vili Fifita to draw.
He looks tight.
Looks tight down that line, doesn't it? Had good weight to draw the shot, actually. Will sit on the bowl, but just going to go by now. Important thing here for the coastal side, the Dobson side, to get that another bowl on the other side of the head early on in the piece, isn't it? To really eliminate, well, just make their shot options more challenging.
Yeah, it's almost, if it matched up that blue bowl, it'd be ideal because leave lots of holes.
Well, this looks a pretty good bowl here from the number 2, Madeline McGee. It's getting applause. It's going to, going to sit right on top, literally in front of the jack. Now, that's a really good position.
Yeah. This sort of stage, you've got to be, he's having a wee feel for it. Just going to get this, no, just whistle past.
Into there, mate. Yeah, just beat that bowl and come into there.
Well, really, at this point of the head, Stephen, that's they've got to try and play with weight, with having that back bowl sitting right back towards the, the ditch. This gives themselves every opportunity because the control of the head right now does sit with the Dobson side. And if Madeline McGee finishes over the head and stays up on board, this will be a very good bowl.
That's a good bowl.
Good there, mate.
Matches that, just really matches the back bowl of the Auckland Originals, and I'm sure, again,
they're playing with weight again. He's really got to get that front bowl because you can't get by.
Well, they're going to
got the gap.
Get the gap. Got rid of one, which in fact now sits at third shot. So for Maroi Pereeti, she's really got to be able to try and dislodge the blue bowl.
Yeah.
And if the jack goes back, well, where it goes to is anyone's guess. But
John's really got to get to that blue bowl with the white dot.
Yes.
Get a second, but not fatten it up.
So no doubt, Stephen, your days have been in Dunedin. Of course, you'd have ventured on the coast on a number of occasions and had some of their hospitality at some of those clubs on the coast.
Yes.
Yes.
White bait and beers.
Yeah, they know how to look after you down there, don't they? They certainly do. Yeah, hospitality's in every race down there. It's not just not a one-race starter.
No, it's always a pleasure to get down there.
John Naenae really needed another metre.
Did he? Can't see right from the circles whether he got another second there.
I think
first and second.
It's got to go quick, really, don't you think, Stephen, to get there?
It's got to rattle it.
Yes, it's got to be quick for Maroi Pereeti, and that's really what Bevan Beckham was indicating to her to go. Going down with that searching, that's difficult there under that. Got to get under the bowl, that very front bowl, to get to that contact point, doesn't she? Would a slide off the inside work?
Not
no.
that time. John's got to get over with this one.
Yeah, he's got to be overhead.
The way that's lined up, it looks like it might go out to the right there. So,
and then of course, if the jack does get burnt, it comes back to
the 2 metre mark.
To the 2 metre mark, doesn't it? To that.
Oh, he
we didn't like that out of the
Oh.
hand, did he? He certainly. We heard that very clearly that he wasn't too keen on that. He said it's too wide, but look, it's coming back, and if it gets down towards this blue, if it gets past here, no, he's not going to. So really, yes, that's correct, Mara. Just asking, was Maroi Pereeti? Yes, it's got to be under that front bowl, and more than likely another couple of yards of weight on it to play through the bowl.
She's tighter,
she's tight under the line.
Under the line, that's crossed it way early. Whoa! Set one, Dobson.
Well, there we go. First set. First round completed of our televised game, and Dobson from the West Coast have won the first set by 3 shots, or they're measuring for a set.
Because may come into it in
at the
third or fourth level, determine who. What is it? Top 2 in it from each section.
Top 2 from each section make their way through, and just looking, it's close, I think.
2.
It was
It was
2.
2. So it's quite important there if they flick that bowl off, that still has shots. So it's a good start from Dobson.
But I think one thing that this highlights very quickly, Stephen, is that if you're going to attack the head on this surface, you have to play with weight. If you try and play that fishing line,
Yeah.
it's hard, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's not the fault of the green. Look,
No,
not
it's
at all,
just...
is it? It's,
No, it's just... But, you know, with the 2 bowls, it's about that effectiveness of it. You can't have a sighter and then go for it again.
No, you can't.
You've got to be
You
making
can't.
contact.
And if you're looking at one-shot heads, you really do have to attack, don't you, really?
Oh, yes.
Because, you know. So here is, on the backhand,
And
Pascoe.
long again.
And long again, as we've seen now the last 3 ends, and he's got that same line again, Steve.
He's looking good.
Yeah, he's got that line. He's worked out the length of there. That's a great opening bowl from the Dobson lead.
Excellent start.
And that's the start that you want, isn't it? So all of a sudden, very quick, the pressure's on Vili Fifita with his, after dropping the first set against Dobson. And this looks to be under the line.
Yeah.
And Stephen, with this surface as well, if you do play under the line, we do know on some greens you can play under the line and still get some form of reward. Looking at this surface, you really have to take green, aren't you? You're not going to get rewarded, are you?
No, it's playing like an outdoor green, natural.
Oh, here's a wider line. You start on a wider line, but look at this bowl from Pascoe, and straight away, it's short, but straight away you're putting pressure on how you play that hand, aren't you?
He's, by the look of it, he's blocked the natural draw.
Yeah, and these are the things which in these short 5-end sets can, your ineffective bowls it makes it so challenging. And Vili Fifita now. And you'll find that's under. You'll see that.
He was trying to be neat, I think, there, Kev.
Yeah, trying to
just
dead draw to the.
Yeah, mate, you got to be reaching.
And here's early on, there's a chance here for the Dobson side where you can take ownership of the head, can't you? Early on, because of the start of which Merv Pascoe is given, you can consolidate for your head, can't you? And again, look, there's that lovely arc out there.
Look at that. Coming back.
That's a perfect arc to the jack, isn't it? And it's set on perfectly
Right
set right behind.
Brilliant. It's all set up with that first bowl, wasn't it?
Certainly is. Of course, Beckham has to change his hand now to endeavour on that forehand side. The play down to the jack's got to get that line right. Got to get under these front bowls as well to get to that target area. It's going to just go by the furs. You can get yourself into. This becomes a very difficult head to play at, doesn't it? The front bowl of Pascoe's on one hand, the other front bowls of the lead of Vili bowls at the front.
I think I'd be down the other side if I was Auckland. Because even if you're hitting Merv's short one there, you're getting third shot.
Well, you're jack searching down on the back end down there, aren't you?
Because now another good brick.
See, they're allowed to build the head up, which are going to the back here. It stays up. Just got to stay up, and it'll be a. Just rolled in.
Better than that.
It did. The weight did look better. So here's Beckham again, 3 down, trying to get to. And as you said before, Stephen, you can get in these predicaments. You can get easily caught with funny weight, can't you? What shot you're actually playing? He's going to get onto the front bowl. How's he going to get it? Pushes it through.
Still 2 down,
at least 2 down, hard to get still hard to get on that hand to get to that.
Oh yeah. There could be 3 down.
Doesn't matter, they're going to have to whack it to get rid of it.
You heard the call then, just as we said.
John Sharp.
Yeah. He's been around the track a few times, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's not for us to tell them what shots to play, but that indicated pretty much, isn't it? So I would say for the Dobson side, for John Aynsley, they would be happy to have this first bowl on the back end over the head, sitting between towards the
Jack
number.
and Ditch would be
between
good.
Jack and Ditch
Anywhere
would
there.
be.
Happy days.
So on the backhand is the Dobson skip, and he's staying out on that wider side, which is
that looking short to us, or Didn't look like it was going past us that quick.
It's going to come Jack there. Below the Jack. And there.
It was a wee bit of a wasted one.
On the backhand. Trying to get underneath. Playing with that
weight.
real attacking weight to get underneath to the counting bowls. It's on a pretty good line here. This is on a good line. They're just going to get the Jack, does it? Gets the Jack. Moves it right out to the side. Will stay alive.
The actual shot bowl went with the Jack. So Dobson is still holding.
It just rolled and rolled and rolled through.
Yeah, both moved.
Yeah, I'll come this way, mate.
So they're putting the marker. I'll just move things around to change a hand correctly from John Ainsley. He's only really got to come alive inside the 2 metre mark on that side of the ring.
Not sure he posted that either, is
and
it?
It will score.
No, they're starting to clap.
Yeah, this will certainly count as well for sure. Sits lower the Jack. But these where that Jack movement right out to the side, it's a challenging draw to get it right. To get it.
Yep. They've got plenty of room, even with all the cameras and the screens that we've got around here. We made sure that you could draw outside in.
So, good line, this bowler, Maroi Pereeti. They're looking at it closely as it comes down getting towards the Jack. Is it going to sit on the shot bowl? No, it doesn't. Goes by. Great attempt, though, from the... And it was 2. It was 2 to Dobson. So... Stephen, fair to say, though, that scoring opportunity there got set up right from the start, didn't it?
Yep, Moore's first one was close enough, and, yeah, it all just worked from there. And then the short bowls, bang,
you're
blocked the hand,
you're searching, aren't you?
Oh, you've got to be perfect.
Yeah. So, for those just watching at home or wherever, which we hope you are, and please share this with your friends, family, whatever, and just go onto the Bowls New Zealand website and they'll very quickly direct you onto the various platforms. And I think I'm right in assuming that round by round through the power play's been called. See, Auckland have called their power play. And I presume the round by round results will be on the Bowls New Zealand website right throughout the full 2 days of section play. So now it is Vili Army endeavouring to draw the shot and get a good start after we saw the first bowl of Merv Pascoe's go by. Fairly good opening bowl, lower the Jack on the centre line. Still need a metre of weight really. So Pascoe will endeavour now. That gives him a good sider. He knows the line on that backhand side. Just to get past that front bowl as it goes past us here in the commentary box spot, and it's certainly on that wider draw line coming back now.
Coming back now, that.
And you heard there John Lindsay saying good bowl here. Well, it pulled up quicker than what they thought. So Vili
clap too soon sometimes.
Yeah. Vili Army Fifita changing his hand now on the forehand. Doesn't want to run into the front bowl of Merv Pascoe's, but this looks to be under the line. So are we looking now at a one-hand end?
Yep. Whoever nails this now will win it.
Will score, won't they? Because the front bowl, of course, of the bowl of Vili Army Fifita is sitting right on the centre line. So here's Madeline McGee with her first bowl on the second end of the and get the Jack, is it? No, it not. Just goes by, just sits outside the circle, but that's
the shot.
That's the shot. So Bevan Beckham following that bowl of Madeline McGee's, and there's still that's way under. That's not for me to try and tell players what to do, Stephen, but if you steer your bowl on this sort of carpet or any surface, but if you're going to get punished, aren't you? You try and steer your bowl under the end. Yeah. You'll see here this bowl of Madeline McGee's.
It's all about pressure, I think, more than when they start. Can't be wide.
And the old hand dips in, doesn't it?
And the finger comes up.
Goes all over the place. Yeah, and you know straight away. So Beckham on the end too, trying to make amends.
He's out in a better
He's
line.
out on a better line with this bowl. It's now going to be on weight as it comes back towards the circle. Does it? No, it's not going to. He's going to stay outside. Head good weight.
Yep.
Head good weight as it just pulls itself back. But
Because he missed so badly with the first, it's
Overcorrect
just
on-
overcorrect.
So for the people in Dobson, down the coast, 10 kilometres up on the river. I hope you'll enjoy, and I happen to know from what I've already seen on Facebook that you're watching this morning, and it'll be it's great to see. And Dobson, of course, winning that first set by 4-2, and all singles.
Yeah.
Oh no, the
no,
last
the
end. The
last
last
end
end.
was
Sorry,
a
the
two.
last end was a 2. My apologies. So here is now John Aynsley. So that's inside the line, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where
he's
Beckham
short
played.
again, I think, by the look of it.
But that was a line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how far does that line now make it challenging now for the Auckland side?
Mind you, these old bowls.
Well, yes,
probably-
if it is what we thought, there's still going to be plenty of drawing ability around the front there, isn't there? Is it? Yeah, needs to get past his
Yeah,
front.
no, it's
I reckon if it
past.
gets by, it'll go close to getting shot, and it's coming past.
Come-
Now's it got the weight to get all the way down. It was
No.
certainly had the right track, didn't
Yeah.
it? Perfect track to get to the jack. Change of hand now from John Aynsley on his backhand. That's the skip of the Dobson side as we play in 2 of the second set. 5 ends, of course.
He just doesn't want to be narrow and heavy, that's all.
Needs to make sure he's outside this
Gets
low
round
bowl,
Pasco's bowl, which
and he's getting around it. And he needs another couple of rolls there to count. No, it won't.
well, that bowl of... got to look for that bowl.
Yeah,
He's got at least
looking
2
to-
seconds. And it makes for a 4. Double down.
So here is Maroi Pereeti trying to play that shot through the bowl, coming down now towards the jack. Is it? Got the
Oh.
front bowl.
No.
Won't do so.
One more to Dobson.
And it's one more to
And
Dobson.
Important end too, because it was a power play in from the Auckland boys and girls. So
So
there's another power play, is it?
So power play
So Dobson are playing theirs.
in right time to call, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you're in front.
In front, puts the pressure on. They know that they can't even
They
let
can't.
it- what if they drop a 1 here, it's all over.
So they have to score, don't they? That's, so
absolutely.
that's good use of the power play from Dobson, controlling the match.
I think Pasco called that, obviously.
Yeah.
He mightn't be playing last
You
ball,
don't
but
have
he's
to
skipping.
be. So here's this opening bowl of Pasco, and again, found that line down on this hand, Stephen. He's done it again, sits inside
He's
the
going
circle.
good that way, isn't he?
He certainly is. Just sits slightly lower the jack, but putting pressure straight away on his opponent, Vili Fifita, with his first bowl. There's Dobson leading 3-0 after nullifying the power play of the Auckland Originals, now holding the power play themselves. And this really has been the stumbling block from Auckland, the Auckland Originals, about the start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those first 2 bowls, Stephen, isn't it, of making them, getting that early control on the head here has moved Pasco again on that reliable backhand that we've seen. He's certainly got that. You see his bowl just fall over there as well. It's got a good line again. Start
He's
clapping
coming
this
again.
one. It was over the head, it's going to be. And, on the power plate, it's exactly what
Just
you
off-
need.
Just
With
off the ditch, beauty.
with holding the shot, you're holding 2 in fact, and you've got the back right under the number covered. So a good position for the Dobson side as we
Yep.
play N3. And again, that's
It's going to be ineffective too. Isn't it?
under the line. So really,
Just to have better weight this time.
it was his jack level weight, and for the again, as we saw a couple of ends ago coming this way, it just leaves it open for the Dobson side just to draw down safely on that backhand side.
And it's
isn't it?
easy to draw a shot when you're holding.
It is, and especially when the way how it's looking.
Yep.
Providing you taking your green outside to that right line. Has it got the weight? No, it's not. It's going to pull up under the line, very short. In fact, it would have been a good bowl on the second ring, on the second circle.
Stopped the straight drive.
It certainly has. Bevan Beckham knows that Auckland, the Originals, have to score this end, and this too. How far is it going to hold up with that weight, trying to get to the jack? Not going to.
He's ditch bound.
That's gone. So it's really, for the Auckland Originals, it's been left to the skip's the one really who's the Maroi Pereeti, who's really put them in scoring positions, because there hasn't been many heads where when they've changed over that they've had control of the head, isn't it?
It was about that about the second end, wasn't it?
It's third end.
Clunked one up.
Yeah. So here's Beckham again. Tight under the line.
Which he's
going to get the McGee bowl, turn that. Well,
no, that's the Dobson bowl.
That's the Dobson bowl.
Holding two now.
Well, that's good. As far as the Auckland side are concerned, although they've knocked the bowl up, it certainly gives for their skip Maroi Pereeti, it gives her a good vision line in through there to get to. She knows if you're just inside that bowl that just got knocked into the head, you're a good chance of scoring. Yep. So for her, as they change over, her draw position sits to that blue bowl just outside the ring there. And if she's inside there, of course, remembering at the moment, with Dobson holding 2, that in fact is 4.
Yeah.
On the backhand is John Aynsley, and he's playing to a pretty safe, a very safe head, really. Is it going to get up far enough to count? No, it won't. It's going to sit outside the ring. And you saw Bevan Beckham indicating to his skip there, Maroi Pereeti, that line is certainly just under that bowl. It is 3, it's 6 in fact. So Pereeti now trying to save this situation for the Auckland Originals. And
turning early.
Yeah, but they'll be...
probably had the speed, but just didn't quite get the line.
The Auckland Originals at this point, Steve, would have to be disappointed with how many ineffective bowls that they've actually had through being under the line. Interesting, John Aynsley changing his hand here. Just doesn't want to give us, a slide position to use a bowl to get down to the jack.
Yeah, on a good line.
He's on a good line, this bowl of John Aynsley's. It comes down towards the circle now. How far is it going to run? In fact, it's still going to be short, but he's not going to be too worried about that. So now, holding the shots, of course, on the power play is the Dobson side from the West Coast. Here is now Maroi Pereeti trying to save the situation for the Auckland Originals.
That's the line for those bowls.
That's not going to be the line there. You're quite right, Stephen. That's under the line.
Oh, hang on. No, she might have got a thin slice, but no.
So we'll wait for the marker to finalise and indicate everything. And
like
you're right.
Couple.
It's definitely
it's a cruel game, this 2-bowl trips, if it's not going for you.
Merv Pascoe's definitely not leading. He's certainly giving a lot of assistance on the bowls coming out of the head.
I think he's skipping, but just playing first.
Yeah, he's just playing the first 2 bowls, really. So putting the measure around there is Madeline McGee.
Looks like 2, doesn't it?
It's
2 shots. So it's a 4.
It's a 4. 7. So big 3. So 9. 9 zip.
And what's 2 ends to go?
2 ends to go.
5. Oh, it's 2 5s.
Pretty hard.
You think?
Well,
sillier things have happened.
So this saw. Now it's interesting because that number hasn't gone up according to the power play, has it? On the board there.
Yeah, we thought it was 2 on the screen.
Yeah, that's right.
Hang on.
Oh, he's changing now.
Movement. We have movement. No, it is 9. Must have been a 3.
8. It's 2. No, 3. Anyway, it's 8-0.
No,
Still playing with it.
No, still playing with it. Yeah, now we got it.
We were right.
The board and the screen are in sync.
So,
Move gets shot there. It's close anyway.
it's close. Of course, it's literally all of the Auckland original bowls have to count. They've used up their power play under the line. This bowl here of Vili, Fifita, and we'll finish outside the I suppose the key really, Steve, is if you're consistently finishing inside the circle, you
Good things will happen.
yeah, you're going to be in a fairly good position, aren't you? It's when you're outside the circle with say loose bowls that you're going to put yourself in that sort of predicament, aren't you?
Yep. If you got them inside the circle, you can land them, move it. Good things will happen.
And of course, from Dobson's point of view, leading 9-0 at present, in the makeup of things, that becomes pretty important, doesn't it?
It does, because it's adds to the differential.
Which is,
and to win 2 sets too.
win 2 sets, correct?
Because
Yes,
sets, I think, is the second
sets
level.
the first count, isn't it?
No, game points.
Games, sorry, but
Yep.
then on
Then
any
sets.
recount it's sets, isn't
Then
it?
sets, then differential.
Yes. So the more
they're scoring well. It's the perfect start.
Well, this is a perfect start. You get 2 sets, win 2 sets to love. As Madeline McGee. So things are looking exceptionally good in round 1 for the West Coast representative side, the Dobson side. Going to come up short though, going to run into that front bowl.
It's her own one. Foot tripped herself.
And I'm sure, Stephen, as the round by round goes on, we're going to see these heads tighten up,
Yep.
because we're just going to, no disrespect, but we're just going to see the players gaining more confidence in the surface, and also getting, I suppose, although they've come through the elimination phases, the Jack getting a slice out to the side there. One down
moves.
is the call.
Yeah.
But as players get more confident with it, and as you know, playing in these sorts of competitions, Stephen, that as you go through, the harder the competition is, the better you
Yep.
so you lift accordingly, don't you?
Well, this is the first competition game round for them.
Yeah.
Across the board, we've got another 7 games going behind the screen there, and each rink's playing pretty much the same. So by the time these ones on the 4th round or something coming over here,
It's not going to be a
not-
challenge to them, is it?
yeah,
No, it's not.
They know where roughly the line is. They know the speed because it doesn't vary across the green. So
And obviously as well, Stephen, is in your role with Bowls New Zealand, we're seeing more and more interest from not a lot of places, but there's more and more interest in these sorts of surfaces or
Yep.
complexes, isn't there? As I pointed out, I got a note yesterday. The Canterbury Bowling Club are now on the throes of doing something, which we'll find out over the next couple of days of
Yep.
actually what is going on. And I would imagine a covered facility in Christchurch would get plenty of use, wouldn't it? You would think?
No, they're looking to I think they're looking to go to one of the old Cosy clubs and redevelop that. And,
Right. Yeah.
which included covered, artificial, plus greens. And all that sort of, so,
Well, Elmwood, for example, was a club with that sort of park-like multi-facility environment. would
I
lend
think they're
itself-
still in the game too.
Yeah,
looking at options there.
would lend itself very, very well, wouldn't it? And of course, the Canterbury Club, as we'd call it, has got a bit of an interesting history of its. Was literally the Publicans Club of Christchurch is how
it
just
was
like
fairly elite, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like the West End Club in Auckland. That's really how they came about. But the Canterbury Club over recent years has certainly had a transformation. And got a number of good players as well at Canterbury, and it's a very, very now active club. Still one green. Is it still just the one green club? Is it?
At this stage, I think it is, but they're looking at the options. So,
And I correct me if I'm wrong. I think here's this bowl of Maroi, Pereeti's, and that's going to go away, slide under their head.
So it's 1 to Auckland.
Elmwood as well, they received some financial compensation post-earthquake.
Yeah,
They got quite a bit of disruption there in that, because there was tennis and other things in that park area of Elmwood, wasn't there?
I understand, there's been sort of hurdles to go through to, but I think from what I hear, I think they're starting to get to a point where they know what they want to do. So it's just a matter of putting the plans together and getting it delivered. But it's sometimes council consents and things like that.
There's all sorts of all sort of protocols that one has to go through, doesn't it, to get to, that final consent process. But it's great to see us adapting to these multi-use, all-year-round facilities. It's and we've got the services of Mark Perrin and his company where without any shadow of doubt, I think we've got the best turf management, one of the best professional turf management people in the country. So,
absolutely. Yeah, like it's right across the board. Anything turf, it's Mark, and it's really pleasing when I go around the clubs working with them and that, and then after Mark's been, they're just talking real nice things and good things about what he does, how he does it. And like for example, this surface in here, we had New Zealand Sports Turf Institute come in and do the audit of the base, and 40
which
squares.
Is so important.
Yeah, 40 squares, and there's 2 mil diff.
Really?
2 mil.
Yeah, well,
that's a tissue paper, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that tells you the professionalism, isn't it, of getting it right. And Mark Perrin and his team, certainly they're experts in Mark's overall world of turf culture management. He's an authority, for example, with cricket all around the world, called upon for surfaces. For cricket pitches all around the world, so he's
sports grounds. He's got it all going there. Busy man.
He is a busy man. I suppose the disappointing thing in this first match, really, Stephen, but I'm sure it will improve, is that the under-reliance of bowls coming back to the centre line. There's been a lot of bowls that, as we've seen another one now, it might finish up jack level. But, you will get rewarded on this surface if you get your bowl to the centre line. Yep. There's no two ways about that. The bowl will come back to the centre line. And as we have seen throughout a good percentage of this match with Merv Pascoe off the front by getting that good steady draw. And it's interesting with this particular end, the fifth end, that the Auckland Originals elected to change the length of what Dobson had been dominating with.
And there's a big difference too, going from short to long. They haven't tried a medium, have they?
No, they have not. And that one that Auckland just scored, in fact, was their first scoring end since end 3 of the first set. So it's fair to say that Dobson have had pretty dominance, really, throughout the match.
Yep.
So I think I know we can safely say that the round 1, game 1 here of the National Interclub Bowls3Five finals, that's
mighty South Island club of Dobson.
Delight to the Dobson. And as we said earlier on,
good
bowl here from Maroi. Pereeti trails the jack around the corner right to where the Bevan Beckham bowl is to make 2 of it. And John Aynsley hasn't really had to very often in this match endeavour to draw his way out of trouble.
He hasn't had to do much, has he?
How's the weight? It's got a decent line. Hasn't got the weight.
They're
interested. Get all the way. They're interested. They're looking and drags and just gets a touch and trail on the jack. 2 magnificent bowls there from the 2 skips.
Good time to come right.
Well, yeah, and as you rightly said before as well, Stephen, differential as well comes into it. And playing this number of rounds and having 8 to qualify, I can guarantee you there'll be a couple of spots that will come down to some counting. So, great reply here.
Yeah, very good.
Great reply from Maroi. Pereeti sits right in behind the jack, and that looks like an old classic too, actually. Here's now Aynsley trying to get to the shot bowler. Needs to get
Just a bit
underneath
high.
it clean. Rolls it, the bowl through. Did it make two of it or just one? We'll tell in a minute. Looking closely. And they're saying the bowl behind the jack, that was that two lovely bowls there played by Maroi Pereeti.
That was it. What? Dragged it for the first and Stone Cold drew it with the last.
So shake hands time here in round one, and we'll just wait for this measure to see what the final score was. I can tell you that Dobson from the West Coast have run out the winners in 2 sets, winning the first set 4 shots to 2, and then capitalising on their power play on N3 here of the second set. And I'm not sure whether it was one. Look, it was 2. I just saw it quick. It was 2. And Dobson running out the winners of the second set in 9 shots to 3. So that brings to an end the first round here of the Bowls3Five Interclub Finals. Thank you to Stephen Beale, who's been with me here in round one. I can tell you that Dobson, the club, the 12 members down on the West Coast have run out the winners here on the first of our live televised games. And we'll be back here shortly. We will bring you round 2 action here from the National Interclub Bowls3Five Finals in Naenae.